Part 1. White Clouds. Garland Moon. Mutiny in the Mist. When the warm winds blow from the sea to the south of Adrestia, residents of Fodlan know that the rainy season is upon them. Before the heavy rains take their toll, young women hurry to pick the last of the white roses. The ivory buds are woven into garlands and given as gifts to close friends or potential lovers.
Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses, the Ashen Blue Lion Wolves. In the last part, we did our first mission, and now we will be doing the monastery exploration for Chapter 2 for our second mission. Unless it gets boring and I decide to cut it out. Who knows? I'm not entirely sure what I want to do about the monastery explorations. For now, I think I'll just keep them in. Anyway, let's finish loading. Oh, look at that, the calendar. It's so pretty.
Professor, I have a new mission for your students.
We have received reports that Lord Lenato has rallied troops against the Holy Church of Seros.
Why would he do that?
Lord Lenato is a minor lord of the kingdom. He's been showing hostility toward the church for some time now.
A vanguard unit from the Knights of Seros is already on its way to his stronghold, Castle Gaspar. Lord Lenato's army is nothing compared to the Knights. It is quite possible the rebellion has already been suppressed.
Even so, I would like for your class to travel with the Knights' rear guard to deal with the aftermath.
War zones are unpredictable. We do not expect you will have cause to battle, but be prepared for the worst.
Excuse me. You sent for me, Lady Rhea?
This is Catherine. She will be leading the Knights whom you will be accompanying.
Nice to meet you. We've heard a lot about you. If you need anything, just ask.
She is one of our bravest Knights, and that is no small feat. Only an exceptional few have what it takes to join the Knights of Seros. This mission should prove useful in demonstrating to the students how foolish it would be to ever turn their blades on the church.
Okay then. Ew. Let's see. I don't know who that is, but I'm going to save supports for later, and I will do them in a completely separate video, so that way people who aren't interested in supports can view them at their leisure. I will try to upload them and keep them contained based on, you know, how far in I am with other or how far I am in the story, so that way the supports do come up at the time, or the times when they're well. Oh, what's the easiest way to put it? Yeah, so that way the supports are being made available when I saw them in the game, so that way their character-related stuff shows up at about the same time that it would in-game. Anyway, here I was just trying to make sure I buy enough beginner seals to get everyone into beginner classes. Well, everyone who hit level 5. Let's see, looks like I've got 2 beginner seals on me right now. Let's go ahead and turn Dedu into a fighter.
Passed.
Yeah, and then you also gain some stat increases when you change to a new class. I think that works similar to how promotions work in Echo's Shadow of Valencia, and I think that's the same in Gaiden as well, where the characters will promote to, or rather, when the characters promote, their stats will be increased to what the bases are for their new class. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Oh, look at that. Catherine found a large boolean. Not Catherine, Constance. Why do I think Constance's name is Catherine? I mean, they both sound like noble lady names, I guess. But Constance and Catherine are very different people. Anyway, I decided to buy up all the master seals too. Those will be useful much later when we get to when our characters start hitting level 30. That said, you don't need to use the master classes, so don't worry about having your characters promote into a master class if there isn't one that suits their weapon, that suits their strengths or whatever. You can just leave them in an advanced class or a DLC class, and they should be just fine. So don't worry about it too much. Anyway, Balthus is going to become a fighter. And this, I have been dreading this because I don't want to take him out of that long coat. No!
Was there ever any doubt?
No, there wasn't. You had a 100% chance. But yeah, now I don't get to see his sexy abs. I'm so disappointed. Alright, and let's get Constance ready to do.
I knew I would, of course.
Yes, we're gonna put her in her new class too, and then that should be everyone, unless I forgot something. Alright, and then starting with this month, you can ask students from other classes for mission assistance. They'll join you as a a sort of green unit on your side of the field.
You have spent quite some time in here, engaging in such idle chatter. Do you not know that we have not a moment left to waste?
I had forgotten. Or no, I should
try
have.
harder from now on.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, but so when you recruit a student for mission assistance, they will have fixed level equipment and stats and all that fun stuff, and you can deploy them to help you out with any battles you take part in that month. There are a few exceptions.
Huh? Is someone there? What do you want?
Nothing. I don't want anything. Just wanted to say hi, Bernadetta. Hi, Bernadetta. But yeah, so there...
Hey, Professor, do you happen to have any food on you? I'm starving. No matter how much I eat before I train, I'm always so hungry after. My muscles must be going through a growth spurt.
Yeah, there probably are, Raphael. But the mission assistance, it's generally helpful on a...
This flower is one that is eating insects. Is that factual too? I am wondering who watches over the plants in Fodlan.
Everyone. Plants in Fodlan are amazing. Anyway, the mission assistance is very helpful in a vanilla game where you don't have as many characters to use right away, since you can generally deploy up to 10 units, but there will be 8 students in your class plus Boyleth for a total of 9 to deploy. So, ask any students that you are interested in recruiting for mission assistance, so that way you can build up supports with them and lower their recruitment costs.
If the flowers within the greenhouse are removed, they will soon wilt and wither. Is that not so, Professor? I feel I can empathize with them. The flowers that thrive, despite their environment, are truly inspiring, are they not?
I guess so. I've never been one for looking at flowers.
Inspiration.
Alright, and then what is over this way? I don't know. Alright.
No.
But yeah, mission assistance, very...
I desired fresh air.
If the wind feels nice. Yeah, the wind feels very nice.
I have a favor to ask.
Finally, so with that quest from Euritza, we'll be able to unlock battalions, so that lets us repair our battalions and buy and recruit new ones.
If you have a moment, I would like a word. It has been brought to my attention that certain individuals have been making advances toward Flame. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? If you do see anyone getting too close with Flame, please inform me of it at once.
No, sorry, I forgot to do my lines. How dare I? I'm such a monster.
Sorry, but I must vent to someone, Professor. You're familiar with Manuela's slovenly behavior, yes? That woman. She borrowed a book last week and returned it with stains of unknown origin on the cover and several pages either folded or torn. Just now, she dropped a sandwich on the floor, picked it up, and kept eating. When she saw my shock, she said simply, 3-second rule. Ugh.
Oh, I love their interactions. It's so hilarious. Anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and cook with Yuri. No, I'll save all activities until after.
Today's meal was delicious. Linhardt keeps bothering me about eating too fast. Says I'm gonna choke or something. Absolutely. I knew you'd see things my way.
Yeah, I'm not giving myself enough time to read these lines. In fact, it's tough to make them out.
Professor, I feel I must speak to you about Caspar's eating habits. I've never seen the like of it. He inhales entire plates of food in mere seconds.
Oh, sounds unhealthy.
Hence my mentioning it to you. Good luck with him.
Will do, Lindhart, will do. If you're at a loss for who to ask for mission assistance, healers like Lindhart, Marianne, and Mercedes are always a good choice. Since healer experience is pretty light anyway, it could be handy to have someone else who can heal that you don't have to worry about training up. That said, though, once you do recruit them, then they'll start getting experience the natural way, or the normal way, whatever the right word is.
Hey, Teach. There's some minor noble rebelling in Fargus, right? He has no chance of winning. I wonder what he hopes to achieve. Huh? Are you going along to help? Sounds like an easy victory, but good luck out there.
Right, that reminds me of one thing I don't like about Three Houses is that the situation with Lenato, you'll deal with that regardless of what route you're taking. This shows up in Blue Lions, Black Eagles, and Golden Deer. But it has the most significance with the Blue Lions because it's in the Kingdom territory, and Lenato is Ashe's adoptive father. Let's see here. Come on, talk to him.
I heard about your class's assignment, by the way. Good luck subduing those treasonous nobles.
Thank you. But anyway, so the story events in Part 1, they're most closely tied to the Blue Lions over anyone else.
I'm studying here so I can be the best there is, just like Captain Gerald. Do you think I've got it in me to be a top-tier mercenary, Professor?
Oh, you really want to bring in the money, huh?
I do. Though, it's about so much more than being rich. It's about honor.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, as I was saying, the story in Part 1 is most closely tied to the Blue Lions. The Beagles and the Golden Deer don't have as much connection to these events.
Why does His Highness take the side of the people of Dusker? I just don't understand it. Only 4 years ago, they murdered our king and slaughtered the soldiers and knights who were with him, all of whom were innocent. Even if he can forgive them, I can't. Not ever. What they've done is against all codes of honor and ethics.
Well, that's a bit harsh, Ingrid. But to be fair, they were blamed for it, so I guess if she doesn't know better, then she's kind of justified. Anyway, so the events in Part 1 are most closely tied to the Blue Lions, and I'm disappointed that they didn't write in different things for the Golden Deer and the Black Eagles to do that they will always do regardless of which route you take, so that way they can reference their own personal events rather than what you're doing.
Please, Professor, there must be some mistake. Lenato would never raise arms against the church. At least, he never said anything to me about it.
Because that right there is worth it to keep in for Ashe. So I wouldn't want to cut out the Lenato plotline entirely.
I have past here is the holy mausoleum where the saints of the Church of Seros slumber. Sorry, but only a select few members of the church are allowed entry. It's open to the public on only one day of the year for the goddess's rite of rebirth.
Ooh, sounds momentous. But dealing with Lenato with the Golden Deer or the Black Eagles, or Beagles I should say, that just doesn't seem as impactful since you don't have to bring Ashe with you. I usually do because it's Ashe and it's tied to him directly.
Listen, the monastery monastery grounds are far too spread out. Feels like it takes hours to get from one area to another. And no, that's not because I'm getting lost. I'm a fully capable, mature person who never gets lost.
Yes, I'm quite sure that's true, Lysithia. Anyway, you should just learn to fast travel. But I wouldn't really know how else to write the story, so that way you still hit the major events that come up, that fit with all three of the houses, but with individual stuff leading up to it for...
Are you going to fight alongside the Knights of Seiros? Let me know if you meet anyone I might be interested in, okay?
I mean, it's Catherine. I don't know if you swing that way. You probably do, though. Dorothea is very flirty with pretty much everyone.
We're going on a mission with the Knights, right? I wonder if... Oh, sorry, it's nothing. I was just wondering if someone I've been searching for might be among them.
I hope you find whoever you're looking for.
Thank you. I'm definitely gonna find him one of these days.
I'm sure you will, Annette.
I've heard whispers about Lord Lenato. They say he's a very kind and gentle lord. Why would such a kind man suddenly raise an army? Oh, Professor, you were working late last night, weren't you? You shouldn't overdo it. A ghost might rise up from the well to get you if you stay up too late. Or so I'm told. I have a favor to ask of you.
Yeah, I doubt that. Ghosts aren't all that scary. Or I don't know.
Professor, have you seen Felix around? I swear, as soon as you take your eyes off him, poof, he's gone.
No, I saw him at the training ground.
Of course he's there. Sorry for bothering you, Professor. Thanks.
Seriously, it's Felix. He's either there or he's not. Ugh. Alright, anyway, what was I going on about? Oh, right, yeah, the story in part 1 not being well put together.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Have you talked with Catherine yet? If the Knights are the cream of the crop, she's the cream of the cream. Oh, and that relic of hers. I hear it's nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, Catherine's relic is pretty really amazing. And like with all relics, pretty much anyone could use it if you want them to, but if it's not wielded by Catherine or, shockingly, Lysithia, then they'll take 10 damage after every round of combat.
Professor, your clothes are a bit dirty. If you don't pay attention to your hygiene, the girls won't like you. I hate when my clothes get dirty. That's one of the many reasons I find it best to train as little as possible.
I guess so. I mean, I don't like it when my clothes are dirty either, but not for that reason, Lysithia. Or Hilda.
Hey, Professor. How's it going? Making lots of coin? I'd love to catch up, but I'm super busy right now. Working. For money. You understand. Hey, Professor. Fancy meeting you here. I've got a business, I've got something I want to chat with you about. I know you're busy with a lot of things, but I was wondering if I might be able to join you. Heck, I won't even charge you for my aid. What say you? It's a killer deal.
Fine.
Thank you. Now I'll have plenty of time to get to know my clients better. A merchant needs to know the inner workings of everyone they come in contact with. Helps with the making of the monies, you know.
Yay, we got Anna. Hooray. Alright, I might as well talk about Anna. So, the one thing to note about Anna and any other characters I'm going to be recruiting outside of the Ashen Blue Lion Wolves is that their base stats are reflective of the earliest possible point you can recruit them. If you wait until later to recruit one of these characters, their base stats will be higher and they might even be in a different class. So keep that in mind. Anyway, as for Anna, I don't really know what to say about her. I do not like her. Like, Anna has just been a running gag, I guess is the best way to put it, that they've been putting into the games ever since Awakening. She's always some sort of money-hungry merchant, and she is as shallow as a puddle. Like, even Skyrim seems deep compared to her. Regardless, if you want to make use of Anna, she isn't all that terrible. Like Yuri, she is going to be pretty really fast, but her strength and magic growths are pretty really shaky. So she might have trouble dealing damage, but you can be pretty confident in her ability to double, which is good because that complements her Crest of Earnest pretty well. which gives her a 20% chance to stop enemy counterattacks if she hits them with a weapon. Like Yuri, I would recommend training her as an archer, so that way she can use close counter and abuse that skill as much as possible. However, if you'd like to turn her into a class that can use magic, her Faith spell list is really good. Ward and Rescue are very useful utility skills, and Ward in particular gives her a lot of opportunities to gain some experience and work on her Faith once she's learned it. She also has a unique sprite if you decide to turn her... Well, no, not a unique sprite. A unique portrait if you decide to turn her into a trickster. Well, actually, you can just put her into that outfit by default anyway, so you don't have to make her a trickster, but it is an option worth considering, and despite her weakness in reason magic, it is worth investing in as well for Meteor. Long-range spells are always useful to have, even when the character is not very good in reason magic. Her personal skill that just boosts her luck by 4 is completely useless. Don't even bother considering it when you're looking at this character as a whole. All in all, Anna is pretty much a hit or miss. I recommend recruiting her just for her paralog and nothing else. Alright, so finally we can replenish our battalions and hire new ones. Let's see, the ones I really want are these Blue Lion Dancers.
Do you want to hire this battalion?
Ready for order.
Because they allow you to dance in 4 directions at once. It's broken, I bet.
Battalions from various territories gather at the guild. There are even some that aren't affiliated with the Church of Seros. As we are allowed to hire them, you should visit the guild soon and come to your own conclusions. As they fight, battalions will lose endurance. When that happens, you can replenish their endurance by visiting the battalion guild in the market.
Yeah, and then, I don't know if I already mentioned it, but there are also a bunch of battalion-specific skills that will trigger an effect when your battalion is below half, when your battalion is below half health. Suffice to say, those abilities are super broken, because they tend to be skills that would normally trigger when your character is at half health, but they can stay at full health as much as possible and get all the benefits of these skills that would otherwise require you to be at half health.
Oh, hello, Professor. Was there something you needed? Oh, you like horses? I like them too. They're such kind creatures.
Sorry, I froze up and forgot my line there, but yeah, so with those battalion-specific skills, characters can become quite broken if they get the right combinations, like Battalion Vantage and Battalion Wrath. Right. It's definitely worth it to consider keeping some battalions intentionally at low health to take advantage of those skills.
His Highness is strong, but on the front lines, anything can happen. Losing him would be devastating for Fargus. I hope the Church understands that.
Don't worry, Dedue. I'm sure they do.
Doubtless, there are times when one must take up their blade, even if there's no chance of winning. But this, it's downright senseless. Lord Lenato knows better. If he had enough allies to back his rebellion, it would be a different matter.
How? Allies?
My apologies. I was just thinking aloud. This whole situation is a bit too strange for my liking. Even with the necessary preparations in place, there is always a chance that something unexpected will occur. Please be ready for anything, Professor. Will you do me a favor?
I don't know why they threw in this DLC quest. It was available before Cindered Shadows launched, but it tells you about Abyss, the place where the Cindered Shadows DLC mostly takes place.
It is a noble's duty to protect the common folk, not to endanger them by rallying armies in such a feckless and improper manner. Abuse of that kind is no better than slavery. A proper noble must guard the people from such a fate, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, sure, I agree.
Precisely why true nobility is well respected.
Oh, you're a true Scotsman, aren't you, Norrens? Aren't you?
Yeah, Catherine has invited me to train with her. How much do you think I should train before I'm ready to train with someone that strong?
No idea. Why did I talk to you? You're not important. Alright, anyway. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm pretty disappointed that they didn't give the Golden Deer and the Beagles stuff that's more closely tied to their characters, or at least their part of the world. Because now we pretty much get more development for the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Blue Lions, but not so much for everyone
I
else.
can't believe this place has so many breathtaking works of art. I feel like I'm living in a museum. Each piece can teach us about styles and techniques from 1,000 years ago.
Do you like art?
Oh yes, very much. I'm from a family of merchants, so I've been able to see a lot of art.
Ignatz is very artistic. Who would have guessed from the nerdy kid with glasses?
Pointing a sword at the Holy Church of Seros is akin to pointing a sword at the goddess herself, meting out appropriate punishment to the sinful. It is a sacred duty with which we have been entrusted. As a member of the church yourself, I hope that you will take that to heart.
That sounds a bit for me, Rhea. I don't really want to, yeah, I kind of just don't like that mindset, Lady Rhea. You should probably be more lax with people. Why do people have to be either religious or dead?
Way. Did you hear? There's news of someone in the kingdom raising an army. The kingdom, the empire, the alliance. They do love a good war, don't they? Spilling the blood of young men and women. And for what? Just to enjoy the horror of it? Would you be so kind as to do me a
so
favor?
this is where you unlock faculty training. So this
I
is...
simply must thank you, Professor.
So this is how Boyleth can train up his or her own skills. So the faculty training, characters who are faculty in the here in the monastery will be able to teach you stuff.
Professor, I heard that you may battle alongside Catherine. Even among the knights, she is something special. A holy knight who is able to wield a hero's relic. Still, she can be a mite difficult.
Yeah, I always recommend reserving at least one activity point for training from this point forward, so that way you can have an easier time getting Boyleth to qualify for whatever classes you want them to be in. On New Game Plus, you pretty much have so many activity points that it's...
Castle Gaspar, eh? I've been there once before, many years ago. It was by request of the son of that family, Christoph, I think it was. I have a request.
Oh yeah, and this is the quest where you learn how to give people lost items. A lot of the items I've been picking up around the monastery belong to the people in the monastery, and by giving them their items back, you build up support points with them, and if they're in your class, it also boosts their motivation by 50 points, which is half of what their total motivation can be. Very, very handy. Anyway, what was I talking about again? Oh right, faculty training. Well, I'll go ahead and let...
Here to train? You really are as hardworking as they say.
That's...
Spoken like a true hard worker.
Sorry, I fumbled my line. Anyway, when you're on New Game Plus, you can get, you'll have enough activity points to do so much faculty training that Boyleth can qualify for pretty much anything you want him to, given that you can train enough in those skills.
Catherine, Her skill is impressive, I'll admit. So is her sword. But I think she's hiding something. Nobody knows anything about her past. You should spar with her. She's strong. Stronger than you are, I'd bet.
Probably. She is a sword master, after all. Let's see. And then, I was a bit thrown off because the Cindered Shadows DLC threw in a side quest that makes it easier to figure out who, what items go where.
Lord Lenato must know that his efforts are futile, yet he can't help but fight. If I were in that situation, I would do whatever it took to ensure victory. You can count on that.
Well, I'm sure he's doing that, Edelgard.
Something about this situation doesn't feel right. Why would a minor lord raise an army against a foe he cannot possibly hope to defeat?
He could be suicidally overconfident, or he feels like it's worth the risk, regardless of whether or not he can succeed. Who knows? Alright, so this is the advice box. Someone will put a note in there, and the way you respond will earn you support points with whoever put the note in there. So basically, you just read the note, try and guess who the portrait is of, and then pick the response that you think that they will like.
Thank you so much for your help.
These can get pretty humorous, but for the most part. But for the most part, it isn't necessary, so if you don't want to do this, you do not have to. And since my screen is a bit too fuzzy, I can't quite make out what everyone is saying. Oh, this one is always hilarious. I always want to pick that one that says, "Who are you again?" But that's a bit too mean to Dorothea. And how could you be mean to Dorothea? Look at that hat. She's fabulous. All right, and then let's go ahead and finish this DLC quest. I don't know why they put this in here. It's utterly pointless.
Good deal. Abyss? You're interested in that place, are you? Ancient sprawling remains deep below Garrick Mach. That's Abyss. Some folks have made their home there. Obviously, they all have their reasons and tales to tell. But only the most enterprising merchant would venture near it. My advice, avoid going there yourself.
Uh-huh. But yeah, they put that information in the game before you can actually go to Abyss. And I don't quite get why. I guess they wanted to hype the DLC.
Thanks for your help.
But since it doesn't, since finishing that quest doesn't do anything else, I don't know what the point of it is, aside from giving you a few extra rewards. And even then, it seems a bit, what's the right word? I don't know. But imagine I used the right word and that I explained it thoroughly. And that is what it's like for them to put in that quest. Let's see here. What else was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. That tends to happen a lot. Anyway, here we are in Abyss.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Lots of things happen down here. Lots of reports need to be reported. And for all reportable things, I'm your guide. Oh, have you explored Abyss yet? Some shiny treasures here. Much better than up top. Fact, treasure likes to be underground. You're one of those treasure snobs who thinks their treasure is better than everyone else's, are ya? Those types really get my goat.
I'm sorry. I usually find really good stuff. Yeah, that treasure tends to be underground. I mean, look at the number of dungeons in something like World of Warcraft.
Despite what my appearance might suggest, I was actually born a noble. No one in my generation wore a crest, however. When the next generation proved to be flush with crests, my father and I were cast aside.
Yeah, another glimpse into the horrible reality that is reliance on crests.
Can't say I'm surprised about Lord Lenato launching a rebellion. The writing was on the wall. If anything, it's more surprising it didn't happen sooner.
You seem to know a fair bit about all this.
Lord Lenato answers to Count Rowe of Fargus, the man who adopted me. That's how I got into the academy. I'm not in contact with the Count anymore, but that's how I know so much. Gaspar territory smacks of war. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out.
If you say so, lady. If you say so. Wait, why am I calling him a lady? I've already been calling him a dude.
Professor, do you have some need of me? I assure you, I am busier than I may seem. You would argue the point? Do you claim to have a view inside my mind?
No.
Yes, I thought not. I'm doing strenuous mental exercises. My magical theories require rigorous fine-tuning. I shall never finish this task if I am not left to my own devices. Run along now.
Okay, I'll just
I have a small request.
leave you alone. But first I'm going to accept her quest, which will give you a couple more benefits that are super highly beneficial. The one of them is it lets you know which house an item the character. Ooh, what's the word I'm looking for? It'll let you know which house the item is from.
Hey, pal. Haven't seen any suspicious types on the surface lately, have you? Beefy, mean-looking folks?
I have not.
Beautiful. Guess those lowlifes haven't tracked me down yet. Bounty hunters are the worst, yeah? They can't just let me be, so I have to go through the trouble of roughing them up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it'll let you know.
Someone's raising an army in the kingdom, I heard. Normally, I wouldn't care about that kind of thing. But this army's picking a fight with the church. So as far as I'm concerned, more power to them.
You really must hate the church.
Hate's a strong word. I'm just saying, they might have a good reason to rebel. Rhea and her lackeys like to pretend they're always in the right, but they're not. No one is.
Alright, well, you know what? Yeah, so that'll let you know what house the character is from that lost the item. And it'll also give you an extra chance to to make the right option during tea time.
Mercy, I beg you. Costas never meant to attack the church. He was tricked. They don't understand that. They'll kill me. But you could let me go. Please.
Never bother anyone again.
I've got a quiet life waiting for me back home. I'll never cause trouble again, I swear. Thank you.
That's sweet. Who was Costas? Alright, you know what? Well, we can ponder that later. For now, I'll call that an episode here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.